Greetings, Ghoul Gang! Lich here with episode 3 of my Burgertime adventures. If you haven't seen the two prior to this, go ahead and watch those now to get up to date. I've started an island from scratch for the first time since March 2020, and I'm having a really nice time indulging in all of the early game content. Today, we'll be saying hi to Blathers in his newly open museum, and working towards gathering the materials to build Burgertime, a bricks and mortar shop. First things first, time to check the post. I have all of the items I ordered from the Nook Stop last episode, plus a gift from the Nook Mileage program and the Happy Home Academy. I'll be cracking open all of these items in a second, but for now, has anyone noticed something different? We finally have a house! Look at it! I say finally, it's been 3 episodes, but this was one of the last things I updated last episode, reluctantly at first, but now it's built, I can feel myself getting excited for things like having walls and storage, which were obviously not possible when I lived in a tent. Cracking open our parcels now, got everything we asked for, plus it looks like the Nook Mileage program sent us a wetsuit, which we will use later, and the Happy Home Academy sent us a DIY recipe, which is incredibly useful as I have hardly any right now. And while I was initially thrilled to see the clothes I ordered had turned up, upon wearing them I realised I had committed a fashion crime that haunts me for a significant portion of this video. Off to see Blathers now, and I think this is probably a good time for me to say sorry for the lack of video last week. I had a really annoying cold that resulted in me losing the majority of my voice for several days, which meant it was impossible to record content or stream. I'm on the mend now, but I'm gonna try and I'm definitely still not 100%, so there are points in this video where I'm definitely gonna have to go through and like kind of cut out bits of me like coughing and stuff like that, so you don't have to put up with it. I'm on the mend now though, so thank you for bearing with me, and hopefully from now on episodes should continue to be weekly. Now that the museum is open, I can give Blathers the fish and bugs that I caught yesterday, including that pesky mosquito that was hassling me during last episode's outro. Fuchsia is here, and folks, I have to prepare you for several occurrences in this episode. I don't think I'm a mean person, I'm just super socially awkward, and I think my troubling charisma score in real life has been exacerbated tenfold on Burgertime. That interaction was fine, but I want to warn you now, there is worse to come. For now, time to go awkwardly insert myself into this conversation. Hey! I am happy with my home. One could say I am in Happy Home Paradise. On paper, 98,000 bells seems like quite a lot of money, but as with every single Tom Nook loan, it is interest-free and I can pay it back whenever I see fit, so it's no big deal. Also, after telling me this, he gifts me a Nook Mars ticket, which is essentially a day trip to go to a different island entirely for free that I can use whenever I want. Once again, he's a pretty nice guy. We'll be making use of that later in this video. For now, Timmy has need of our services. As we overheard in his conversation with Tom Nook, he wants to build a permanent shop on Burgertime so that he can move out of resident services, and he's asking me to help. Obviously, I'm happy to, because shopping is my guiltiest hobby. Does anyone else think of shopping as a hobby, by the way? I don't know whether that's just a me thing, or whether it's just something that's less common here in the UK. Normally, shopping is just something you do, but it's a hobby, right? You go window shopping, you buy things. Is that just me? I don't know. Please let me know. I'm also a big shopping enabler, so if I have friends who are like, should I buy this? And secretly want to be told yes, but are asking for a second opinion to give the illusion of self-control, those friends should always come to me, because I will always say, buy the thing. Buy the thing. Anyway, Timmy wants us to get 30 pieces of wood, hardwood, softwood, and iron nuggets. The iron nuggets are the hardest thing to get here. Everything else is pretty much a piece of cake. Talking of buying things, by the way, it's now time for me to buy things from Timmy. A beach ball and a camping stove will make fine decorations around the island. Then I go to check the Nook stop, and I don't know what time travel gods I appeased in order to make this work, but the seasonal items that I really wanted last video were still here today, so I immediately snapped up every single one. I especially love the Grape Harvest backpack and the Lunar rug, so I'm ridiculously hyped that I managed to get those. Here is Sparrow being an absolute legend and gifting me some iron nuggets. Like I said before, these are the most difficult thing to find on Timmy's list by far. The reason the wood is not too difficult is because we have an abundance of trees, but you can only get iron nuggets from rocks, and you only have a certain amount of rocks on each island. So they are definitely the most sought after out of all of the materials he wants us to find. Quick pit stop in my house to throw that map on the wall and to unequip the jorts, and we are ready to roll. As you can see, I take a little bit of time to throw down a few decorations before getting to work gathering the wood I have so far and the sticks needed for an axe to get some more. We do not need to talk about what happened next. With axe created, I set to work chopping trees and trying not to anger any more bees. Also, look how generous this tree was. This is now my favourite tree on all of Burgertime. The skill involved. This tree is blessed. Okay, this is the first instance of what I had to warn you about before. Fuchsia comes up to talk to me, and instead of greeting her, I bop her on the noggin, and she looks so upset and confused, and I'm really sorry, Fuchsia. It's okay if you never want to talk to me again. I am so embarrassed. I bury myself in my work to avoid the dark thoughts that plague my mind, convinced that I'm a terrible person who must remain alone forever. I contemplate leaving Burgertime, using my Nook Miles ticket to move to an entirely new island, never talking to anyone from here. Oh! Never mind. Fuchsia apparently has forgiven me and still wants to be friends. She even gifts me a shovel to help me find iron nuggets more reliably, which is a really sweet gesture. So obviously, like an absolute jerk, I then equip my own, way crappier flimsy shovel right in front of her. Basically the equivalent of throwing her gift back in her face and spitting at her feet for good measure. What the hell is wrong with me? Equip me to the tool ring, folks, because that's what I am. A tool. Searching for iron nuggets is a great opportunity to contemplate my life, because much like how you find nuggets by hitting rocks several times in a row, life often feels like you're getting hit by rocks several times in a row. I'm using the optimal strategy for rock hitting here, where I dig 2 little holes behind me to bolster myself so the ricochet of hitting the rocks doesn't push me backwards out of range. That way, I'm able to maximize the yield from each rock. Optimal Animal Crossing gameplay! My pockets at this point are full of building materials, so I offload the wood and the hardwood to Timmy to clear out some space. I actually didn't realise that he gives you little gifts in exchange for each item, which is really sweet. He didn't give me anything I'm ecstatic about, but it's still nice to have gotten something. Plus, I'm excited to see how garish the flooring he gave me is. I then left resident services in search for more rocks, and I actually ended up stumbling across my first money rock. For the unfamiliar, rocks in Animal Crossing will yield one of a variety of items every time they're hit. And once they're hit once, there's a limited amount of time in which they will continue to yield items upon every fresh hit. That's why it's important to box yourself in near to the rock, because the optimal amount of times that you can hit a rock in the time limit is 8. That's 1 for each space immediately surrounding the rock. Normally rocks will drop building materials like stones or nuggets when they're hit, but once a day, 1 rock on your island will become the money rock, and each time you hit it, it drops bells instead of building materials. That's why it's even more important to optimize where you stand when you hit it, because otherwise you're missing out on free money. Oh god, it's Fuchsia. Do something normal. Yeah, hit the tree with the shovel. That is a very normal thing to do. Good job, Lich. Nice work. Excitingly, shortly after finding the money rock, I also find this island's gold spot for the day. I use it to bury 10k worth of bells, the optimal amount once again because I'm a pro gamer, and then I get distracted by digging up fossils to give to Blathers. Psych! I wasn't distracted at all. I was doing little side quests to get me Nook Miles so that I could afford a pocket organisation guide, because I am sick and tired of having such tiny pockets. Anyone who has ever worn women's clothes will know the pain of having either limited or zero pocket space. And video games are supposed to be about escapism and flights of fancy, so yes, I am going to live out my dreams of each pocket effectively being their own bag of holding. I've also managed to gather the last of the softwood needed for Timmy's quest. So once that's donated, we now only need to find those pesky iron nuggets. Every rock on Burgertime has been plundered, so now it's time to use that Nook Miles ticket that we got gifted earlier in the video. Here is Orville. Along with Wilbur, they run the airport here on Burgertime. We can use the airport to go to random islands using tickets, or to visit friends. I suspect I will be awkwardly making use of this one in the future for passing furniture items between my main island and this one. But for now, we are going to our first ever deserted island using Tom Nook's Nook Mile ticket. There are a bunch of different islands that it's possible to come across when you use a Nook Mile ticket. So for example, you can find ones that have different flowers to your native flower, different fruits, different bugs. There's one that's just full of money rocks. This one, I think, is fairly standard. Nothing super exciting here, except that there is someone else visiting here too, which we will see in just a moment. Ta-da! This is Celia, and she is so sweet and cute. Please remember this for in a few moments' time, so that the depth of my treachery is realized. I set to work gathering items, hitting rocks, shaking trees, but then hubris! Wasps attack. I do pretty well running from them, but they are relentless. They chase me across the island, and... Is this me trying to use Celia as some sort of shield? No, of course not. Why would you ever say such a thing? What a ridiculous and baseless accusation. How could you? In order to make it seem like I was not about to throw Celia under the bus for the sake of a smooth face, I invite her to come live on Burgertime with me. There, no hard feelings. Actually, I'm super excited to have her. She seems really cute, and my previous island has never had any eagle villagers. I love her little outfit, and the green and pink accents are adorable. The last thing I do before heading home is find the hidden furniture item up the tree and check my pockets. Still 6 iron nuggets to go. Now that I'm back on Burgertime, it's time to take stock. We need a little break from gathering nuggets, and I need to do more tasks to get the Nook Miles necessary for a second desert island trip. To do this, I realised there's one big gift that we've got today that I haven't utilised yet. The wetsuit. It seems like a perfect time to test it out. Wetsuits and the ability to swim in the ocean were added to Animal Crossing New Horizons in the summer 2020 update, I believe, but it still feels like a novelty to me because I always forget about it. Basically, equipping a wetsuit allows you to swim out into the water and dive for a bunch of various creatures that you can then donate to Blathers in the museum. How do folks feel about open water, by the way? The ocean is one of those things that simultaneously terrifies me and fascinates me. The thought of swimming in it? No thank you. I don't want to swim anywhere where I can't see the bottom and I don't know what else is there with me. Scouring Google for pictures of scary fish, though. Mysterious cryptids. Old shipwrecks, though. Yes, please. That sounds like a very fun and good time. The ocean freaks me out so much that if I accidentally switch Google Maps to satellite mode, I get anxious. Do I still do it though? Of course I do! Does anyone else do this? Also, let me know what your favourite weird ocean thing is. I love goblin sharks, and if you have stories about cool ghost ships, hit me up. I want to know about them. Thank you. Anyway, enjoy this compilation of me finding weird bits and bobs on the ocean floor. As you can see, if you swim far enough out, there's a net, so you can't just swim away indefinitely. You can fill your pockets with whatever you find, but if you find a clam, sometimes a really cool NPC called Pascal shows up and offers to trade you for it. Ideally, you want to keep one to give to Blathers for the museum, but if you do trade with Pascal, he will either give you a mermaid DIY recipe or pearls, so it's well worth doing it for furniture items that basically are unobtainable otherwise. Plus, he always gives you very, very good advice. See? Once I was done swimming, I headed ashore, past the still unreachable fossil spot, and over the river to the museum. As you can see, I had quite a lot of duplicates, but still enough that Blather's got a good amount of new creatures for his exhibits. I'm especially happy with the octopus, as I'm pretty sure those are normally really difficult to catch. I'm confident I once had to chase one across the map in order to catch it, so I reckon I got really lucky here and maybe it was asleep or something. As you can see, I now have plenty of Nook Miles, which I can now go and redeem for a Nook Miles ticket. Now that we have the ticket, we should be able to get the last few iron nuggets that Timmy needs for the shop. I landed on the new desert island to find that, much like the previous one, it is not deserted at all. There's another villager here visiting again. I set to work doing all the usual things, but this time I'm prepared with net in hand for any wasps that cross my path. Sadly, it does not help. I am defeated once again. I try to cheer myself up by chatting to Stu. And here's the thing about Stu, he actually bears a striking similarity to many of my favourite Animal Crossing villagers, in that he is both blue and lazy type. Does it feel mean to call him a poor man's Jeremiah? Or an even poorer man's Hornsby? Maybe. But I seem to be on a streak this video of being an absolute arse to animals in this game, so why stop now? Either way, he's coming to live on Burgertime for a little bit. Welcome on in, Stu. With all my tasks completed and, check it, 38 iron nuggets in my pockets, I head home. As the resident representative of Burgertime, it is my honour to decide where the shop will go. It's the last thing we'll be doing this video, and as with the museum, I wasn't really sure where to put it, so I kind of just plonked it down near resident services for the convenience. As before, we can and will change it up later if we need to. But for now, it looks fine. Success! And that's it for today, folks. Another busy video with lots accomplished. I hope you enjoyed tuning in, and I promise I'll be nicer to my villagers next time. I don't know what came over me. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and go and check out the video description for links to where you can find me on other platforms. Bye for now!